Welcome, racist herbivores, to Geek Salad's Retro Movie Reviews from the Geek Salad Podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And today we are continuing our Disney month of April with another Disney classic. In fact, actually, I think it was the last Disney animated movie to win Best Animated.
Yeah. Because
because the year after that it was Pixar. 2016's Zootopia.
Excellent movie.
Yeah, a very good movie. One that, had it not been for Moana coming out at the end of the year, honestly would have been one of the best Disney. The thing is just, when we talked about this last week, how much I love, and you love Moana.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, it was almost a shame they came out in the same year.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I just watched this one again just a few days ago. And while I still hold that I do like Moana more than this one, it's not by much, because this one is really, really good.
Yeah, no, I know. And it's tough too, because my kids love this movie. I really enjoyed this movie. There's a lot of good, solid laughs in it. So I enjoy a lot of that. Let's get into the movie and why it scored, I think it was at 99% or 98% rotten or certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow. Yeah,
it was there was one troll review.
Of course, there's always one.
Yeah, except if you're Paddington 2.
Oh.
Which, with the amount of reviews that it got, is still the best reviewed movie on in the history of Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I've heard nothing but excellent things about that one.
Oh, it's a beautiful movie. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Zootopia. This is an interesting piece because it really bucks the trends of a lot of Disney movies. This is not a musical. This is a real linear story all about racism and gender equality and a whole bunch of other light kid fare.
And they even point out in the movie, this is not some Disney musical, so let it go.
The amount of Disney callbacks in this movie are fantastic. They really, really are. I love the characters. I love the voice actors. I love the fact that when this movie was released, and you and I both saw this in the theater, I love when it was released, you didn't have a lot to go on. If I'm not mistaken, I think the first and only trailer I actually watched for Zootopia prior to its release was in front of The Force Awakens. And they did just the scene trailer with Nick and Judy in the DMV.
Oh, yeah, with Flash and your dash.
And that scene sold me on the entire movie.
Yeah. I mean, I'd watched the trailers for this one. Actually, when I was at D23... not the last time, but the time before that, I believe.
Okay.
They had this little tiny hotel at the Walt Disney Animation booth, and you look into it, and you can actually see all little mice doing all the little mice things.
Yep.
In the hotel windows, and I was like, I don't know what this is, but it looks interesting. And then they came up with trailers, and the trailers they made it look like a funny little buddy cop story. The trailers do not really prepare you for how deep this movie goes.
Right. You're absolutely right about that. This is one of these movies that is super deep. Just in terms of how. Well, let's be honest. It was released at the very beginning of 2016. We had no idea how prescient this movie was going to be 1, 2, 3 years later.
Right.
These are things now that are major talking points just in regular adult society, and something that you wouldn't think that a kid's movie would have predicted the rise of. But we really... we try to keep the show as non-political as possible, but this movie really is predicting the rise of fascism. And it's crazy to me to think that's going to be this movie's legacy.
Not so much the rise of fascism for me, but more of the rise of fear mongering in a sense.
Okay, yeah, that actually is a better term.
And how if you let these kind of fears control you, then basically it just rips society apart. And you really have to find a way to not look at what that person's race is or what that person's gender is, but who is that person? Essentially,
right? Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, and just the fact that they are literally throwing these people into cages.
Yeah,
people, animals, but still.
I mean, it still holds. I mean, they are animal people.
Yeah, it's really, really crazy. I love that the characters all themselves, the main characters, have all faced some form of discrimination in one way or another. With Judy being, as a child, being attacked by that fox, and then having to climb her way up to be the only non-predator bunny. The bunny.
Not non-predator, but non-big animal. Because there are rhinoceros, there are elephants, and they're in the police force. So they're a predator and prey in there, but they're all huge.
Right. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, you're right. She's small, so she has to find her way to become a police officer. And I love the training montage, especially at the beginning when she starts to fail. You're dead, little bunny. You're dead. dead.
And then when she goes into the bathroom,
and then they just cut to the next stall, dead.
I mean, I know, going on the characters right here, but can we take a moment to say this is probably one of the best and most perfectly casted voice casts ever?
Absolutely. Considering, again, that we knew very little to almost nothing about this movie when it came out, it was kind of a nice surprise when it's Jason Bateman, and it's Jennifer Goodwin, and it's Idris Elba, and it's J.K. Simmons and Jenny Slate.
And one of Judy's parents is Helen Hunt.
That's true. It is. I forgot about that. So it is it's a very, very large cast of people you would almost never expect to do a Disney film. With the exception of Idris Elba, because that year, man, he was all over the place with Disney films.
Yeah, was that the year of the Jungle Book?
That was the year of the Jungle Book. Jungle Book came out like a month later.
His Shere Khan was terrifying.
It was, and I love his Chief Bogo.
Yeah,
I really do, especially when he gets caught with that Shakira video
by Clawhauser.
Oh my God, he's a fun character in a number of different ways, because not only is he, he's a predator, so he's got to stay. When they finally embed that fear of all predators, he's moved down to the basement or something like that. But he's the most benign, just fat, rotund, lovable character. And in a lot of ways, you might be able to read his character as being gay, because he's just very, very effeminate and he's just so happy.
Oh,
when he's reading that. But
when he comes back and they present him with the 2 things of donuts.
Oh, he's just
overjoyed. It's making my heart happy.
I play this mobile game called Disney Emoji Blitz, and I actually have Clawhauser as one of my characters. And his his super ability is when you power him up, you can throw a donut anywhere on the screen, and all the Clawhausers on the screen come and then just take little nibbles of it. It's the most adorable friggin' thing. It's really cute.
And of course, you've got Alan Tudyk as Duke Weaselton.
Oh God, what a great callback! What a great friggin' callback from the Duke of Wesselton or Weaseltown.
Yeah.
His scene is fantastic, mainly because he's the one with all the bootleg Disney DVDs. And it was like, oh, I can't remember.
One was like Wreck-It Rhino.
Yeah, Wreck-It Rhino, Moana, which hadn't even been released. I got movies that aren't even released yet.
And I can't remember who does his voice, but Fennec was the tiny fox.
Oh yeah. I could look that up if you vamp for a little bit.
I mean, just when Judy gets Nick on with her tape recorder, and he just explodes like, "Oh, she got you good. She got you good." And he just like packs up and walks away. He's like he's just laughing the entire time. He was very used. He was used sparingly, but every scene in which he was in was just golden.
Hold on, I'm trying to find him here. Oh wait, the little fox. Oh yeah, okay, Fennec. I was thinking of Gideon Gray.
Yeah, no.
I'm on the thing right now. Oh, that's Tiny Lister.
Okay.
Otherwise known as from No Holds Barred. Zeus.
Yeah,
Did you see The Fifth Element?
No.
You never saw The Fifth Element.
Never seen Fifth Element.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Element.
I know a lot of people who love The Fifth Element. I am not one of them. And yeah, he played the president.
Okay.
He's a big dude with a wonky eye.
So playing the tiny Fennec with a big attitude kind of fits.
Absolutely. Absolutely it does. And Jason Bateman is just, when he does comedy, I never expected Jason Bateman to be so good at dry delivery.
Oh yeah.
We're going back to like Arrested Development, which I love, and I love him in. But his Nick Wilde is just a fantastic character. And I love how cynical he's become because he wanted to do the right thing growing up, and he's still treated as a pariah because he was a fox.
Yeah. And I mean, plus, Jennifer Goodwin as Judy, who's just, she's got this huge heart. She wants to do the right thing, but she's constantly being like told, no, you can't do that. And the relationship between those two characters is not only is it central to the entire movie, but it is so beautifully done.
It is a very believable relationship, which is. It is really interesting that these two characters have so much chemistry together, considering it is an animated movie. So it is nice that by the end of the movie, you really are happy that they're partners, and they pull over, flash, 100-yard dash. So the movie itself is an interesting ecosystem of different lands and different animal puns and different it's almost like New York, but if the 5 boroughs were all set to basic animal ecologies. So go ahead.
I mean, the scene where Judy's on the train going into Zootopia for the very first time, and she's just like kind of looking around and seeing all as they go through the desert ecosystem, the tundra one, the rainforest one. Like, I mean, hell, I've seen the movie again, but when I watched it a couple of days ago, I was still feeling that wonder. It's like they thought this setting out to every detail. They worked it all out. This was a beautiful entry, and I mean, you can say what you want about the song. I love the song personally. Try Everything by Shakira or Giselle.
Which is Giselle.
But just that going along with just what she's seeing and just the wide-eyed wonder she's got, it got me every single time.
Yeah. It's interesting too because
there you go.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You must have lost me. You have the Blu-ray, right?
Yes.
Okay. So do you have the extras where they talk about the original story for Zootopia?
Yeah.
And Nick's essential story was he was trying to come up with a like a nightclub where, you know, essentially an all was welcome type of nightclub. And it was a storyline that got right up until the very, very end of pre-production, and then they scrapped it entirely.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, this movie started off not very different, but very, I mean, the same basic storyline, but a very different way of going about it.
Okay, yeah.
Where all the predators were given collars.
Right, exactly. And that they scrapped that idea, which, you know, for the betterment of the movie, I think. I honestly can't imagine the original movie being as it was if it, you know, if they had gone that route. But my point with that is that scene, just that overwhelming, sweeping thing of Judy entering all the different areas, getting into Zootopia, is a really I'm not sure if that was an original concept or just something that was just like, okay, we got to do something because we have to start building the story back up again. So,
well, I mean, however it is, they did it well.
Right. And it's really cool. Now let me ask you a question real quick, because I'm going to be that guy. After her first day of like failure, where she's changing the radio station, I find it interesting that there is a world where it's just animals that exist as anthropomorphic, humanized animals, but REM still exists.
Well, I mean, maybe it's Michael Skunk.
Stop that! Stop that! So I you know, and this is something that I've talked about before on this show about how I don't get how at this point, 3 years later, there's been no plans to actually kind of create a Zootopia at one of the Disney theme parks.
I think there has been. I believe.
Is it a talk, or is it actual they're doing something?
They're actually doing something. You talk now while I look this up. I heard something.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, folks. I got home really late from work today. I worked essentially a 12-hour day, so I'm kind of tired. Yeah, no, it's amazing how believable the entire area is, especially when they get out to the more frigid areas where the cold weather animals live, and like the little burrow where all the rodents live, including the mafia. You know, Mr. Big's daughter is shopping.
There it is.
Okay.
In Shanghai Disneyland, Disney has confirmed a Zootopia-based land, and there are rumors that they might do something like, if you know, depending on how well it goes over in Shanghai Disneyland, they may bring one to Disney's Animal Kingdom as well.
That makes sense that it would go. And I also was thinking too, after I asked the question, I'm like, well, if they planned it, it must be for Japan, right?
Shanghai.
Shanghai, yeah. Sorry,
China. Sorry,
I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I really enjoyed a lot of the gags.
Yeah.
In this movie. And, you know, if we want to talk about what worked and what doesn't work about this movie, the gags really they're good gags that bear repeating. So upon repeated viewings, I honestly still get a kick out of the Jerry Vole.
Oh.
The Jerry Vole CDs. Rat Pack music.
I mean, the entire like just Mr. Big Godfather bit, I thought that was golden.
Yeah,
I really love that, and I every single time I get a giggle out of Judy's reaction when Nick tells her why Mr. Big hates him so much,
because he
sold him a rug made from
skunks. but
Oh, sweet cheese and crackers.
that's a great gag. Like we mentioned, the Duke Weaselton gag is really good. The sloth thing. Oh my God. For the 4.5 minutes that joke goes on, it's golden.
I mean, I've seen that clip probably dozens of times at that by now, but every time he just the eyes just slowly starting to widen, the smile just slowly eyes just start giggling.
Yeah.
I get giggling just wildly.
I like that one. Another gag I really like, and my kids and I like doing that, is a stop, you'll start a howl.
The night howlers.
The night howlers, yeah.
Plus,
Breaking Bad reference, by the way, with those night howlers.
Well, Breaking Bad reference at the end with the
Rams.
Yeah, and he even says like, hold on, I've got Walter and
Jesse.
Jesse at the door.
And they're blue.
Yep.
Just like the meth. I enjoy those jokes. There's this one gag with where they're looking at the surveillance stuff.
Oh, and
Nick starts playing with her hair. Don't touch your hair. Don't touch your hair.
And just lots of little small details.
Oh, the fact that other bunnies can call each other cute and fluffy.
But if another person does it,
it's cute. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, that little bunny's gonna get eaten alive.
Oh, the thing too with the elephant ice cream parlor.
Oh yeah.
It's like they're doing it all without gloves.
And actually, speaking of Chief Bogo, all right, we have to address the elephant in the room. Francine, it's your birthday today.
What the out he was just not working.
I don't know. It's not really a negative for me, but for someone like you who does have younger kids, there are definitely like some scarier moments.
Yeah, all Disney movies have those scary moments, though. You're gonna have the dragons, you're gonna have the pack of rabid dogs, or in this case, an otter.
Yeah. When the otter goes feral, and even when the Black Panther goes feral there.
Oh yeah.
And chases them all around.
Yep. Honestly, if I take any issues with this movie in terms of flaws in the movie, I think second into third act pacing could have been tightened up. This movie does hum at a nice pace, but Judy going back to the farm and just the resolution up until you get into the subway system really just drags the movie.
I guess, but you kind of have to have those moments just as far as story wise.
Yeah, but I think they could have been tightened up a little bit.
I can see where you're coming from. I kind of disagree because I like those scenes.
Yeah,
the kind of the quasi resolution between Judy and Gideon. Where Gideon kind of apologizes for being such a jerk, and he's going all the I had an imbalance of my hormones, which caused me to act out aggressively.
I mean, the finale is very, very sasatisfying. The end resolution where you really do think that Nick got hit with the night howler.
Yeah, I don't know. As soon as I saw the blueberries go rolling out, and like Nick was like looking, was trying to find a solution, and he looks at the blueberries. I'm like, okay, I think I see where this is going.
Right. I mean, I try to lose myself in the movie. I saw it coming too, but it was really kind of a cool fake out, especially for someone like my daughter who was like 7 at the time.
Yeah.
Who saw that and she's just like, she's grabbing my arm and you know, the second that he struck and he bit Judy, she just jumped. I'll admit to, I jumped a little bit too.
Well, I mean, that's just like a quick. He jumps and grabs her, and then it's like a cutaway to. I think that just a jump cut to Bellwether.
Yep.
Just and you hear her screaming, and then it comes back to blood, blood, and death.
That was, yeah, it was just like, oh, thank God.
And I love how they're just like kind of playing. I was like, yeah, okay, I think you're overdoing it now.
I mean, overall, I mean, when you go back to whether or not this deserved to win the Academy Award that year, I'm still siding with Moana.
I don't know. It's I enjoy Moana more because of its more kind of familiar feel and those incredible songs. But I think as far as the Academy goes, I kind of agree that this one was the winner because this one has a little bit more to say, and the Academy is always kind of a sucker for movies that with a deeper message.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can see that. Again, Moana would have been my choice. I would have voted for Moana. Yeah. I mean, Zootopia is not a bad movie at all. I love that movie, and I don't hold its win against Moana against it the same way I do the dudes who wrote the music for La La Land.
Yes, we know.
They're dead to me.
Can I just say though how incredible of a year that was for animation?
That was also
animated movies,
Kubo, right?
Kubo and the Two Strings, which if you haven't seen, which you probably haven't seen it because hardly anybody has seen that movie. It is incredible on so many levels. It's stop motion and it looks beautiful. Plus, it has a fantastic story.
Right. I mean, I've seen enough of like little parts of it to know I would enjoy it if I actually gave it the time and sat down. But much like everything in life, I don't have time for it.
Plus, it has probably the best version of "As My Guitar Gently Weeps" that I've heard in a very long time.
So, and I love George Harrison.
Yeah.
So you have anything else to say about Zootopia, Mike?
Go watch it if you haven't. And well, if you haven't, then we kind of spoiled the hell out of it. So why haven't you watched it? But go watch it again because it deserves all the love.
Well, just speaking of which, it grossed $1 billion.
Yes,
it's one of the few animated movies to gross $1 billion. So that is phenomenal in and of itself.
Do you know what movie it unseated at number 1? Do you remember?
For the top grossing animated movie of all time?
No. When Zootopia came out, it hit number 1. Do you remember what was the number 1 movie 3 weeks before that?
Force Awakens? No.
Deadpool.
Oh, that's right. It was Deadpool. I forgot. I kind of lost track as to what the
Deadpool was number 1 for 3 weeks. Then Zootopia came in, and Zootopia was number 1 for 3 weeks.
So yeah, well, 2016 was a good year. Also, Finding Dory was released in 2016 as well. Grossed more than Zootopia, but didn't get an Oscar nomination.
I haven't yet to see Finding Dory.
I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah. Well, it will be on Disney Plus.
Stop teasing me. Stop teasing me. Just about Disney Plus. I own Finding Dory on Blu-ray, so go if you haven't watched Zootopia. Sorry we spoiled it for you. Go watch it. So what are we doing next week, Mike? We're moving on to Pixar next week, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
and I believe we are doing Ratatouille.
We are doing Ratatouille. One of my favorite Pixar movies, and a movie I feel is unbelievably unsung in the annals of the Pixar lexicon, especially with the amount of franchised properties that Pixar has now with Toy Story and The Incredibles and Cars and Monsters Inc. and Nemo.
Yeah.
So it really is a gem that we will get into next week.
I just realized the next 2 weeks, both movies are going to be directed by the same person.
Are you going to say that both movies were directed by Brad Bird?
Yes. Yes, they are.
Yes. See, this is what I do. I get to cover up the shortfall for everyone, and I have no idea whether or not your guys are covering for me. You got to jump in there. So, what are your thoughts on Zootopia? Did you agree with us? Is there something that stuck out to you that you liked or didn't like about it? Please leave a civil comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to Geek Salad here at YouTube. We put out weekly content, stuff that you cannot find on our podcast, which Mike and I host a little podcast called Geek Salad. You can check us out at geeksalad.podbean.com. You can also download that app either that show rather on the iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, or Google Music app. You can also check out the audio stream right here on YouTube as well, copyright pending. And you can also email us at geeksaladradio@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast, and follow us on Twitter at Geeks. Forget anything?
I think you froze when you said the Twitter handle, so it's at Geek Salad Radio.
Exactly, at Geek Salad Radio on Twitter. So until next time, I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
Go forth and be nerdful. We'll talk